Hello, my name is Nick Cavender and I'm a secondary school librarian from Rickmansworth in Hertfordshire. I'm also the treasurer of the Hertfordshire branch of the Schools Library Association. I've really been enjoying the daily National Shelf Service recommendations, and I'm delighted to be able to take part today and recommend to you one of my all-time favourite books by one of my all-time favourite young adult authors. So the book I've chosen for you is Skinful of Shadows by Frances Hardinge. This is a magical and mesmerizing dark fantasy that is perfect for young adult readers. She's such a fantastically imaginative author who writes so beautifully. Her plots are really original and inventive, and I think quite rightly she is only the second children's author after Philip Pullman to have won the overall Cost of Book of the Year award. It's hard to categorize exactly what genre Skinful of Shadows is. It is a fantasy, but it's very dark and gothic. It's a historical fiction novel, but it's also magical and supernatural. It's an adventure story and it's a quest. The setting is England in the 1640s, the time of the Civil War. Makepeace is the central character. She's 12 years old. She's grown up in a Puritan community, very much shielded by her mother. But after her mother's death, she is sent to live with her father's aristocratic family, the Felmots, at their ancient and vast estate, Grieshays. She's sent to work in the kitchens with the servants, and it's there she comes to learn about the dark secret of the Felmot family, what they call the inheritance. The spirits of the Felmot ancestors keep themselves alive through the generations by taking over a living body, hollowing it out, and using it as a vessel into which they pour their own souls. So this is Makepeace's fate. But in her grief at losing her mother, Makepeace has opened herself up to a spirit, which she has let inside herself. And at first there's a lot of conflict as they fight, but Makepeace realizes that they must come to terms with each other in order to fight against the Felmot ancestors. So Makepeace is a fantastic character. She's strong-willed, she's independent, she's rebellious, but she's very much a young adult heroine, I would say up there with Lyra Silvertongue or Katniss Everdeen. And there is a web of wonderful supporting characters in the book as well. Her stepbrother James, for example, with whom Makepeace plots an escape attempt that fails ultimately when James lets her down. And there's Simond, who's an interesting character. He's the young lord who switches sides in the Civil War to try and gain power for himself. So the struggles between Makepeace and her ancestors are played out against this background of the Civil War, the political divide between king and parliament, and the religious divide between Puritan and Catholic. And it's in this atmosphere of fear and uncertainty that Makepeace must decide what to do while being never quite sure of whom she can trust. We follow Makepeace on her journey as she grows and develops, and ultimately she learns how she can use the powers that she has to do good in the world and give people who deserve it a second chance. Skinful of Shadows is an amazing book. It was shortlisted for the Carnegie Medal and for the Waterstones Book of the Year. It's magical and creepy and mesmerizing, and one that I think you should definitely read. I first read it on my phone as a download from my local library. I hope you will be able to get it that way. If you can't get hold of Skinful of Shadows, don't worry, there are plenty of other books by Frances Hardinge, and each of them in their own way is mesmerizing and fantastical and worth reading. So that's my recommendation for you today, A Skinful of Shadows by Frances Hardinge. I hope you enjoy it, and happy reading.